Hey Sainers, welcome back to the Saints TV YouTube channel. Welcome to Saints TV Weekly for April 1st, Easter Monday. Hope you're all having a great Easter long weekend. Obviously minus Saturday, but we'll talk about that a little later. Thanks to Inglewood Coffee Roasters for being the sponsor of Saints TV Weekly for 2024. Go on over to inglewoodcoffeeroasters.com.au and use the discount code SaintsTV24 and you get 40% off coffee, tea and chai products. Got one of their new blends here, and unfortunately the Inglewood mug that I've got says make it happen, and unfortunately we didn't make it happen on Saturday. We went down to the Bombers. Let's get straight into it, get it out of the way. We lost by 4 points. We were leading for 104 of the 113-minute game, and we blew it, as the thumbnail basically says. We just stuffed that opportunity to get 4 points. Even if we weren't at our absolute best, we blew that game with inaccuracy, with lack of composure, out of defense, into the forward line. We missed Max King big time because Sharman and Membry didn't kick a goal and they didn't really support in the air around the ground. Rowan Marshall had his hands full with Draper and Goldstein. Jake Stringer does what he does best and always tortures us. And luckily, the only good thing was that Jade Gresham missed a huge snap. I think it might have been in the last quarter to seal the game. And he missed it, thank God. So that would have topped it off and blown the roof off Marvel Stadium. But now we look forward to Richmond, which is Norwood on Sunday. So we've got Gather Round, which I'll be there, which is really exciting. So keen to get over to South Australia and watch the boys on the Sunday in the Candy Stripes. Which is also the latest bit of news. We'll get into that. They've launched the iconic strip, and to be honest, that's one of my favourite all-time Guernseys. I know it's a bit of a mixed bag. Some people love it, some people hate it. I actually love it. There's a photo up on your screen right now. I think it's amazing. I've already pre-ordered one. Hopefully it arrives tomorrow or the next day, and I'll have it in time for Gather Round so I can wear it when we actually play in it. But the merch team, is always kicking ass. That's the moral of the story, is that, yeah, you need to save up quite a bit because the merch team's on point in the last couple of years. Last year, it made a lot of Sainers poor, me being one, and then this year as well, they've already released this, but I dare say there's a few other things in the pipeline, and I'm really excited for it. Obviously, the Indigenous round, and there's probably going to be maybe a Heritage round, I'm not sure. That was one of my favourite rounds of the AFL calendar. When they used to do it, was the Heritage round. They really should bring that back. I think it's awesome. But yeah, the Candy Stripes, if you haven't got one yet, I reckon you're going to have to hurry up and order because they're going fast, and I think they look bloody awesome. Now switching to the opposite of bloody awesome, injuries. So yeah, obviously going into the Bombers game, we were missing 3 key players. Obviously King suspended, but we were missing obviously Mason Wood and Liam Henry, so they're out for a little while. This is the updated list from I think 4 days ago, so it could be adjusted now, but it's not released. Paddy Dow 1 to 2 weeks, so I'd say he's almost 1 week. Jack Hayes, it says 1 to 2 weeks, but he played for Sandy, played all right, so he's probably going to play at Sandy for maybe 1 or 2 more weeks. But when you look at Rowe and you think of the support, I can't think of better support than Jack Hayes, who can go forward and impact and obviously go into the ruck and actually be pretty capable in the ruck as well. So it's really important that Jack Hayes gets through Sandy unscathed in the next week or two to get him back. Hunter Clark about 3 weeks. James Van Ayres about 3 weeks. Dougal Howard 2 to 3 weeks. Mason Wood, he's still about 4 to 5 weeks away. Matty Allison 6 weeks. Brad Crouch 6 weeks. Liam Henry 6 weeks. And Ben Patton 10 to 11 weeks. So still majority of the season. I don't think there was any injuries that came from the game, although I did see a tweet about Brad Hill and his hand, and apparently someone had overheard him saying to maybe an Essendon player when he was on the field at the end that he's broken I've broken my hand. Like, I think that's what he said. And I don't think he was on the field when the boys actually walked off the field right at the end, so he must have just drifted off the ground in that time, but that's what someone's heard. I'm hoping it's not true because you lose Liam Henry, you lose Mason Wood, then you lose Brad Hill. Our wings become very light on in that point, so fingers crossed he's okay, but not a great sign if he said that, but it is Twitter, and Twitter's not always right. And now, speaking of Jack Hayes and Sandy did play yesterday. They beat Essendon by 38 points, which is a really good win for Sandy. They had a lot of scoring shots, 17-13, 1-1-5 to Essendon, 11-11-77. Let's quickly go through the key standouts in terms of AFL listed players. Hugo Garcia, 1 goal, 22 disposals, and 8 tackles off the back of 14 tackles last week. That's immense. Tom Campbell in the ruck, 1 goal, 17 disposals, and I think 24 hitouts. Lance Collard, 14 disposals, 4 goals straight. Perfect game. He could come in. Who knows? Against the Tigers. Jack Hayes, 2 goals, 12 disposals, and 3 marks. Max Heath, 1 goal, 11 disposals, and 4 marks. Ollie Houghton, 1 goal, 17 disposals. Pretty solid. Ari Showmaker, 16 disposals, a bit quieter than last week, but still good. 16 disposals. Angus McLennan, who only had the 11 disposals, but apparently stood out quite a bit, which is good. Isaac Keeler took an absolute screamer. So go and check that out on the Saints socials. And that was 12 disposal game for him, playing down back. And yeah, those were kind of the AFL listed players that could come in this week. But overall, a very good win from Sandy. I think they're building quite a nice team, which is credit to our depth. You know, when you can see the VFL teams perform really well, you've seen it over the years, Collingwood, Richmond, Brisbane. When they perform really well, the AFL team is most likely performing pretty well because the standard is really high and it just kind of transcends across both VFL and AFL levels. So yeah, on that note, Sainers, that's Saints TV Weekly. A nice, short, sharp one for your Easter Monday. Hopefully you have a really, really great Easter Monday and you've had a great Easter long weekend. I know Saturday wasn't ideal, but get behind the boys if you can. Get to, I think it might be sold out actually, the game in Norwood. 12,000 I think it seats, so it'll be exciting to be there. New ground I've never been to, but if you can get there. If you can't, support the team elsewhere if you can. It's a big game. We need to win that because after that we've got the Giants and the Doggies and they're both in very good form at the moment. We need to go to 2-2. We should have been already 2-1. We blew it, but hopefully we'll make amends on Sunday. But until then, Sainers, enjoy the rest of your week, and as always, go you mighty Sainers. See you guys.